Welcome back to another episode, a bonus episode of Why Would You Tell Me That, which we do to point people to our delightful podcast, which is fact-based.
Yeah, I guess
trivia.
if you want to use a menu analogy, these are the amuse-bouches to the main course.
Yes, which is the actual meaty filling of facts and trivia and knowledge, and this is just
Who doesn't want our meaty filling? I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, you didn't have to do it like that. You didn't
You
have to.
set me up and I slammed it home.
Bovril porn is now a new search term.
Oh, it's not new.
It's not
It's not new
my
at
friend.
all, my friend.
Meat extract. I was texting you on Saturday because I forgot where you were, and you're like, can't talk now at Champions League final.
Like,
Is it good?
I have gotten a lot of free stuff in my life.
Yeah.
Okay. If the taxman's listening, I've declared it all.
Yes. But if he's not listening.
I don't think I've ever been as looked after
Really?
as I was at the Champions League as a guest of the wonderful beer brand Heineken.
Oh.
Now listen, I will say, we flew Ryanair.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there was a private jet, right?
Yeah.
To Budapest. But even in the airport, in departures of Terminal 1 in Dublin Airport, if you're in the departures area before you check in, there's a kind of a Burger King and a few bits upstairs. Up at the top of the stairs there next to the Burger King, they had set up a little Heineken welcome station.
Okay.
Where we went up and we all got our names ticked off a list. We were given some lanyards saying Champions League final. And I thought they were just a bit of a show thing, or we'd all know, oh, that's a Heineken person. No. On the back was a QR code. And that was my fast track through the airport security, which I've never done.
Have you not?
No.
Okay.
It's very swanky to me.
You know what's the swankiest of swank? Is that there's a thing called Platinum Services.
Oh, I've done that.
Which is
Have you ever done it?
I did a TV show once, and it was a very tight turnaround going to America, and they said, but we have gotten you Platinum Services. And I said, what is this Platinum Services of what you speak?
It's insane.
And you go in and you're basically, like, I thought the lounges were I'm a muppet. I thought the lounges
are for the poor rich people.
Yeah, but the rich people.
So you go in, you have your
Platinum
own
Services.
suite. You go in and they offer you obviously an array of newspapers, drinks, snacks. They take your menu order
and a full proper dinner.
They'll bring you whatever you want, dinner, breakfast, whatever it is. They at one point come in and take your passport from you.
Yeah.
And they go and complete all of the necessary immigration matters and whatever.
You have your own X-ray machine.
Yeah. With one person there smiling at you because you're the only person they're dealing with.
Yeah.
And then you are led into a 7 Series BMW.
You can have the cavity search if you request it. If you want it, they won't bat an eyelid.
And you can determine the level at which they operate. Yeah. Soft and gentle.
Absolutely.
Through to invasive.
Gloved, not loved.
You're then put in the back of a air-conditioned 7 Series, driven to the plane. Now, I will be honest, I've done it twice.
Yeah.
The first time I drove very short distance to an Aer Lingus plane, felt appropriate. Second time I drove a really long distance to a Ryanair plane, and frankly,
That's weird.
It didn't feel like it did. They didn't warrant each other.
Getting out of a savage 7 Series BMW, which is essentially like a limo, and then getting onto the
cramped,
lovely blue vinyl of a Ryanair flight.
Anyway, look, we did fast track. I'm being facetious. Obviously, fast track is fine. Anyone can do it for a couple of quid. But it was nice as a group to do that.
Yeah.
We then went into the Marquette area of the Terminal 1, which is the little restaurant. But they had an area secured for us.
You love an area. We all love an area.
Love an area. Went in, orders taken, breakfast brought out. Fantastic. Then wander down to the gate. That's all very standard. Priority boarding, fine. Also fine. Like people do it all the time. Okay. Got on the plane. Plane is just exactly the same as it would be Ryanair flight across 3 hours, 2.5 hours over. It was grand. From that moment on, everything was premium.
Go on.
So, for example, we wandered through the first kind of tranche of security and whatever and passport control, and then immediately are met by an airside Heineken representative who walks us through. We find a team in light green blazers with signs saying Heineken, and we go over to them and we are told exactly what's going to happen. When, please wait here, let's have some refreshments there, bottles of water and bits.
How many
snacks.
people roughly?
I would say from Ireland 20-ish. So Heineken staff, invited guests like myself, competition winners. And then we're on luxury coaches. And we're luxury coached all the way into the centre of Budapest, dropped directly outside our hotel door. And then from that moment, you didn't have to, if you didn't want to, see another bit of Budapest. Like, in other words, everything was get in the coach, go to the thing, get coached back into the hotel. It was this, and so you got the reception of the hotel, you got the check-in desks, and to the side of them, you have an entire Heineken station who are there 24 hours a day for whatever you need. I would like to book a boat tour. What day would you like the boat tour? Could I get it on Sunday morning? Of course. How many guests? 6? Leave it with me. Just anything you want. I would like to get lunch. Here are a list of things. I will tell you.
4 kilos of black tar heroin.
Right. That I didn't try that. No. Someone did order pizzas.
Okay.
Late after the Champions League final.
Smacks a little bit of lack of ambition. But
Yeah,
that's fine.
true. That's what they got. And they were delivered outside the door, knocked on the door to say the pizzas were there. Came out in the morning from my room. Pizzas were still outside the door. So obviously they had fallen asleep in the meantime. It was a rough night, let's be honest. No, but honestly, it was brilliant. Budapest is so stunning.
It's
I've
gorgeous.
never been there before.
Yeah, I've been there.
It is absolutely incredible. The people are so nice. And I will say this with the most genuine truth behind this. It is the city with the hottest men I have ever seen.
The hottest men?
My God. Like, at one point there was a gay guy in our group, and at one point I pulled him aside and I went, am I misreading the situation? He was like, no.
That poor man.
Yeah. He had to answer a lot of questions. It was just...
That was a level of, he couldn't cope with that level of, like, he's coming from Ireland, isn't he? And then he's landed in Hungary.
Yeah.
I always thought, do you remember before Turkey, Hungary was the place that we went for teeth? Irish people went for teeth,
right.
yeah. I always thought that the Hungarians must have thought that the Irish were the single ugliest race in the history of the world because we only ever sent people
who needed
just getting off. Hello. Don't look, Laszlo. Don't look. Hungary was Hungary before it was Turkey for dental work.
Did not know that.
When I went to Hungary, I thought it was amazing, and we took a Danube River tour.
That's what I did on a Sunday morning.
And what was a little bit weird was that it said hello and welcome, and the voice on the voiceover was the voice of the river. Did they do this in your one?
No.
I am the Danube River, and I have flowed through this continent for many years.
It's weird because they did personify 2 other things. They personified Buda and Pest.
Oh, the 2 cities.
So, because if you don't know, because I didn't realize this until I was going over, that Budapest is the amalgamation of 2 cities, city of Buda and city of Pest.
Yeah.
Pest, we should give it a proper name.
Pest
is the kind of the industry quarter where, it grew as industry grew, and it was the poorer side.
Yeah.
Buda was the
older
hilly old town where
yeah.
all the rich people and the churches and all whatever. So what they did, which is really clever, was it was a woman was Buda and a man was Pest. So every time they talked, you knew instinctively
who was who.
Who was who.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to pitch this as if there was a Liffey tour.
Oh yeah.
I would want
oh yeah. They can bring Ronnie Drew back from the dead.
Ah, yeah.
Here, I'm the Liffey, and I'll tell you what he did now. We've been flowing here for centuries.
Several whirlpools in me and other washing machine brands. I would definitely.
That would be so good.
Salmon. Trout. Are just some of the nicknames of the little young lads who jump off the bridges when the weather is warm.
Interestingly, the Viking Splash Tour we have here in Ireland.
Yeah.
In Dublin, you can get on something called the Viking Splash Tour, which are these amphibious vehicles. Like they were called ducks. Yeah, ducks. And they can barely go on the road, but they go in they're shaped like boats. They have hulls and they're kind of whatever, but they have wheels in the bottom. And they go in and they're brilliant. They're amazing. It's definitely worth doing. We were floating down the Danube at one point, and in the sea, up to its windows, in the river, up to its windows was a coach. Like it literally looked like it had crashed, sunk, and was like
Italian Job style.
It was effectively the Viking boat tour, except in Budapest, it's a yellow coach. It looks and is shaped exactly like a coach.
And how long were you there for?
So went over on the Friday morning.
Yeah.
Stayed Friday night, stayed Saturday night, going to the match on Saturday evening, and then came home on Sunday afternoon, even by the time we left, probably. Look, at one point I was standing in front of Xavi Hernandez, Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, Ruud Gullit, Marta, and Fabrizio Romano on a panel. Like they were just talking about the Champions League final on the Saturday morning before the game. The Friday night, we went
in a live panel
in a venue exclusively for people who had been invited by Heineken. And when we got to the game, right, the major sponsors of the Champions League are Heineken, PS5, MasterCard, FedEx, Just Eat, others I can't think of at the moment off the top of my head. But I would say each of them had between 500 and 1,000 guests.
Really?
And so you've got, we were just beyond the halfway line towards the Arsenal fans, which were at the end of the ground. The PSG fans were at the opposite end. And I would say those two ends are probably 10,000 each. And then the other 40,000 seats, I would say, are mostly corporate.
Would you think?
I would say
does that mean that the atmosphere isn't
No,
great,
the atmosphere is fine. Now, the atmosphere is fine because the Paris Saint-Germain fans were the ultras. And I loved that. The people who definitely go to the stadium week in, week out and stand behind the goal with the flags and the tifos and the drums and they were the people who got the tickets. You know, Arsenal fans, I don't know, like they were great, they were cheering, but they didn't have the kind of, and I guess that's more of a European versus English as opposed to PSG versus Arsenal. The European fans tend to be more organised, like you think of the Yellow Wall in Dortmund.
Yeah, the ultras.
The Italian ultras, whatever. They were so vocal, they were so choreographed through the whole thing. There were flares and things, which again are illegal and shouldn't be in grounds, but they just look amazing. But then the Arsenal fans were just like, Arsenal. They were cheering and they were loud, but they just weren't kind of as organised.
So you got 5-star service essentially. You went to Budapest for the weekend for free with one of the major beer brands, alcoholic brands in the world. You were watching a panel with Ruud Gullit on it, and you were standing beside Marta and all the rest. I did a gig in the very famous Ballymaloe Grain Store Theatre, Ballymaloe, as in the cookery school.
Yes.
On the same week. And I got a jar of relish.
Now, these are the levels.
So swings and roundabouts.
On which we operate.
We are operating on different levels. Have I opened it yet? I haven't.
No.
When will I open it? Who knows? I like to have a little bit of mystery. Is there a cracker with it? No. Just
a jar of relish.
Is there a bar of soap? Yes. A bar of soap and a jar of relish.
At one point, I sent my wife a video and a picture. The video was of the view from the rooftop restaurant I was in.
Yeah.
And it looked over the Danube and over the Chain Bridge. It's a very famous bridge.
Yeah, I know.
Up towards the funicular carriageway that goes up the side of the mountain and the castle. And then I sent her a picture of the handmade in front of my face pasta dish that the chef had made in that style, where the Asian chefs do the cooking in front of you on the hot plate. He hand rolled the pasta, the little parcel, put the filling inside, hand tied each one, hand placed them into the boiling water for moments, took them back out, organized them on the plate, hand placed the tomatoes, the tiny basil leaves. He tore open the burrata as it oozed on the plate. And I sent her a picture just going like, oh my God. She sent me back a picture that she was currently at that moment in time cleaning the shower drain.
Oh,
yeah.
One of the worst.
Yeah, she had the worst. And I was like thinking, she's going to be so happy for me. She's going to be so... There was no comment. There wasn't enjoy.
What do you
she
think
just sent back.
The next level of that chef is, though? Because I can only presume is he leans across you and then grabs your lower mandible and then manually works your jaw up and down, maybe a little side to the side. Perhaps. So you just literally let yourself go slack.
Yeah.
And then he does it.
And then of course because
he marionettes you.
Yeah, but he knows the number of chews to extract the maximum flavour.
Yeah. More molar.
Of course, none of that mattered because it was free Hino all weekend and everyone was lamped.
Were they?
No, they weren't. They weren't.
Did you know anybody else on it?
Yeah, so I knew a couple of radio people on it.
Okay.
There was actually a guy who works in my company that was on it as well. A sales guy was on it as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, very quickly, you got to know all the people, and so whether they were like the CEO or the marketing person or whatever, like you got to know them pretty quickly.
And you don't mind that?
No. It was great. I love that kind of stuff.
Well,
it was brilliant.
I'm happy for you.
Thanks. I'm very happy that Arsenal didn't win.
Okay, if you want more of this massively passive-aggressive content, well, actually just aggressive content, you can listen to the main episode. Thanks.
Bye.